A journey of 1,000 miles, of course, starts with a single step. But right now, my progress is thwarted by steps, 3 of them to be precise. I'm in my 2nd month on crutches, following surgery to fix my badly shattered right ankle. I've recently graduated from a non-weight-bearing cast and now have a walking cast. Now that I have the use of 2 good feet, however limited, the good news is that going up and down stairs has become much easier for me. But there absolutely must be a handrail on my bad foot side, on the right, for me to hold on to with a death grip while I double up my crutches on my good side. And once I got that, there's no staircase I can't climb. But the staircase that I'm stalled in front of at the moment does have a handrail, but it doesn't start until the 4th step up. And I already knew that my arms were too short to box with God, and they were definitely too short to reach that handrail from where I was. To add to the degree of difficulty, the staircase is made of slippery marble. It also happened to be in the White House. It's December 1996, and I'm on the White House Christmas tour. When I'd lined up at the gate with the other ticket holders, I mentally separated myself from them. They were mostly tourists, out-of-towners, who were just a little bit too awestruck to be at the White House. And their tickets had been won either by lottery or given to them by their congressman. I was local. And of course, normally that would mean I didn't do any DC touristy things like taking the White House Christmas tour. But an acquaintance of mine who was a presidential appointee had a ticket he couldn't use. So he gave it to me because he knew I worked at Metropolitan Square, which was just the other side of the Treasury building from the White House. And even with the crutches, it was an easy walk. That's right, I'm here on my lunch break. And I'm not awestruck. I can see the roof of the White House from my office window. Peasants. Of course, that wasn't out loud. At the security checkpoint, I fed my purse to the conveyor belt and hobbled through the scanner. Ding! All the peasant tourists turned to stare at me, while a stern-looking young Secret Service agent with a wand in his hand beckoned me over. I started to explain, importantly, that the surgical hardware holding together what was left of my ankle was probably what set off the alarm. But I was interrupted by another ding! I was sure that proved my point, but the wand was nowhere near my ankle. Something metallic was in my jacket pocket. What's in your pocket, ma'am? Is it your keys? I don't know. I left my keys on my desk. Is it okay if I look? Go ahead. He watched me like a hawk while I reached into my pocket and flinched when I felt something cold and metallic. It was my brass business card holder that I had forgotten was in my pocket. I'm sorry, I forgot it was in there. I wasn't trying to sneak it in or anything. I really didn't mean to do anything wrong. The agent laughed and waved me through without bothering to wand me any further. Dude, wait a minute. Don't you see I'm wearing a cast? It could be stuffed with explosives. And you don't know what I have in my other coat pocket. It could be a gun, as far as you know. I demand that you come back here immediately with that wand, and while you're at it, frisk me. Of course, none of that was out loud. What was left of my sense of self-importance was now as shattered as my ankle had been, because I realized, along with pretty much the rest of the room, that my getting so flustered over the forgotten card case pretty much precluded my fitting into any known terrorist profile. And in fact, I had proven myself to be nothing but a harmless tourist. And so humbled, I joined the rest of the peasant tourists and started the tour. The festive atmosphere and the ornaments and the music lifted my mood pretty quickly. I may have even hummed along to a carol or two as I hobbled through on the ground floor. And everything was both hunky and dory until I was stopped cold by that marble staircase leading up to the East Room. I spent a few moments weighing my options, trying to find just the right angle of attack to get at that handrail, and I concluded wasn't going to happen. My only hope was to find somebody to lean on for those first couple of steps until I could grab onto the handrail. But all the other tourists in my group had already gone upstairs. So I looked around for someone else to help me. A beefy security guard who was standing in front of the partition that blocked off the off-limits part of the ground floor motioned to me. Oh, thank goodness. My hero. I gave him a big smile. He didn't smile back. With a curt, "Come this way, please," he beckoned for me to follow him behind the partition. Oh, crap. The Secret Service must have changed their mind about me, and he's been sent here to pull me out. I'm being culled. I tried to remember if I had put on presentable panties that morning, in case there was a cavity search in my near future. Whatever was waiting for me, it was apparently at the end of the long hallway the security guard was leading me down, silent and unsmiling. As for me, I had already been on my feet way longer than I should have. But I had enough anxiety-fueled adrenaline to keep me going. And I figured that at least I'd get to sit down when they interrogated me under those hot lights. So I had that going for me. And we continued on, him and his silence and me and my anxiety, until we finally got to the end of the hallway. We turned right, and I found myself facing a whole room full of uniformed kitchen workers. Because we were in the kitchen. What were they going to do to me? I flinched as the guard reached out toward me, but then I relaxed when I realized he was pushing the button on the elevator that was behind me. While we waited for the elevator, the chef came over to say hello. And for the first time since taking me into his custody, the guard smiled. Whatever y'all are cooking sure smells good. I'll be back down for a sample after I take this young lady up to the East Room to join the tour. She had a little trouble with the stairs. Wait, what? I'm not being detained? And dude, all I needed you to do was let me lean on you while I walked up 3 short steps. But instead, you made me hobble down that long-ass hallway while visions of strip searches danced in my head. Some hero. Of course, none of that was out loud. The elevator arrived with a ding, and the chef reached into his pocket and pulled out something shiny and metal. He handed it to me. "Merry Christmas, enjoy the tour." It was a piece of chocolate, wrapped in gold foil, embossed with a presidential seal. Unexpected presidential chocolate for the win. A few seconds later, the guard pointed me down another long-ass hallway. The East Room straight ahead, you can't miss it. Enjoy the rest of the tour. And he rode the elevator back down toward the kitchen. When my aching ankle and I finally arrived at the East Room, I once again separated myself from the tourists. You guys may have been able to get up that marble staircase under your own power, but I got a behind-the-scenes tour. And I got presidential chocolate, peasants. I wish that had been out loud. And as for that presidential chocolate, it has been living happily ever after for the past 20 years in my freezer. best DC souvenir ever. Thank you.